But you're talking about hope. You're talking about hope. Religion isn't about hope. It's about knowing. That's the difference.
It's both. It's knowing and also having hope as well.
But if you only hope about something, you can divert it into something else very easily. Because hope is not something. Once this hope goes away, there's nothing. But if you believe in something and you know that's the right thing, that's the right thing.
I missed what you were saying. Did you say you require proof or knowledge or something? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
About God, I mean.
Well, he says like he doesn't believe in something until it's proven otherwise.
Oh, really? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay. I tend to believe that people often do say that, but it's not really true.
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you an example. I think lots of things you believe in, absolutely believe in, but you have absolutely no proof of.
Like what?
Exactly. Excellent question. Like what? So, do you believe that there's an external world outside of your consciousness?
That's of my consciousness.
Yes.
Like what? What do you mean?
What, the world around you? Do you think it actually objectively exists outside of your mind?
Exist?
Yeah.
Or do you believe you're the only one who exists?
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, you believe?
Yeah.
What is your proof?
I can see you. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, but how's that proof? I know God. I talk to Him every day.
Yeah.
So
But do you see him?
no, but I can read His words in Revelation, say like the Quran, for example. You see, how can you prove something? You see, I would argue you cannot prove just by believing in something that the external world exists, because it's a presupposition of our epistemology that we accept the existence of the external world. We can't actually prove it. If we were to use anything in the external world to prove it, but then you're using something which presupposes the existence of the external world in the first place. So, have you read any Descartes, philosophy of René Descartes? Have you heard of René Descartes, the French philosopher? I don't know. But he was a French philosopher in the 16th century. But he said that he did various thought experiments that we could be, in his view, minds in a vat that were being manipulated by an evil scientist to have thoughts and sensations, which we weren't really having because we're just brains in a vat. Yeah, we could. So that was one point. We could be dreaming. You could actually be dreaming at the moment that you're at Speaker's Corner talking to Nazem and me, and then how would you prove you weren't? Because you're part of the dream.
But then
you couldn't just say I see Nazem,
so
but it's a dream.
Yeah. So can I ask you on the same thing? How do you know that the book you're reading is real? How do you know that?
Exactly. This is my point. But you're saying that you only accept things when you have proof. I'm saying, and this is one example, the other examples, that you accept a whole range of things in your everyday epistemology without any proof whatsoever, and you have no problem with that. But when you just ask, what is your proof? So say for example, I'm suggesting now I'm a person in a dream you're having. You're actually at home in bed. And you're going to wake up in about an hour's time and you're going to find it Sunday morning. Can you prove I'm wrong?
Right now?
Yeah.
I cannot.
But just now you said you were certain that I exist because you can see us. Do you see my point?
Because I believe in it.
Exactly, but you believe in something. Remember, the original point was you don't believe anything unless you have proof. But now I presented you with two scenarios where you can't prove even the external world exists.
But just because you can prove something, doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
True.
No.
Thank you.
But it's different. It's different because the way that your theory is that you can prove anything.
No, it's not what I'm saying. No, I'm not a skeptic. I'm not an agnostic. I'm just saying that atheists and agnostics, skepticism about religious belief is exceptional, that you don't apply your skepticism to other foundational beliefs that human beings have. You only reserve it for religion. And I'm saying that's not consistent. I'm saying you don't apply your skepticism to other areas of epistemology at all. You choose to reserve that irrationally, I would argue, for religious believers. So why are you're being very selective about what you demand proof about, because there are lots of other things that you take for granted you have no proof for. And I've given you two examples. You can't prove that you're not a brain in a vat being manipulated by an evil genius. You can't prove that you're not actually in a dream, you're going to wake up in 2 hours' time. But you don't believe either of those two things. You're convinced you're here.
But there is a large difference between conscious, that's what you're talking about, and about physical stuff. About nature and about science, and those are two different stuff.
I'm talking about consciousness. I'm talking about a dream. A dream state is pure consciousness. It's not. I'm not talking about physicality here. It's something that goes on in your head. It's not. I can't look in your head and see a dream. no scientist can see a dream in your head, in your brain. I mean,
when a police officer stops you and he says you crossed in a red line, in the red light, can you come and prove that you didn't?
Yeah, it's possible, of course.
No,
there are cameras.
No cameras, no
in
nothing.
London.
Can you
I
say?
see.
No.
Well, okay. But what I'm trying to say is, for a skeptic like yourself who demands evidence, I'm saying you're very selective and you demand it for religious topics, but not for anything else. In other areas of your epistemology, you don't require any proof at all, and you're very happy to go and believe things without any proof at all. So I'm saying you're being very selective. Now, I'm arguing that belief in God is foundational to our species, is natural to human beings.
Yeah,
Is what we call in Islam the fitra. As part of our natural disposition is to believe in a divine being and morality and other things. So it's the default position. And you no more ask a Muslim why they believe in God than you would, well, do they believe that the universe exists, or do they believe that they exist? Because it's just part of the apparatus we have that we just take for granted as true and factual and objective. An agnostic comes along and says, I demand proof for this particular belief. And I'm thinking, why are you picking on that belief and not all the other beliefs which you take for granted? It seems very arbitrary and selective. That would be my argument.
I disagree.
On what grounds?
I think that you cannot, again, with the traffic light, you cannot prove something that doesn't exist. And you cannot prove something that is conscious. Maybe all of this doesn't exist. Maybe we're not speaking right now.
You can prove things that don't exist. You can prove things don't exist, but by their absence, you could say, is there a leprechaun standing over there, or a fairy saying, no, there isn't? Why? Because there isn't one. You can see.
Can you prove it?
Well, yes, because it's not there.
How?
Well, because we would see it if it was. That's proof. It's called empirical evidence, using our senses.
But it is over there. I can sense it.
No, but you're not being. You see, but you're making that up. You don't really believe you can see it.
No, but I can sense him right now.
No, but I know what you're doing, but you can't. But you don't really, though, do you?
What?
You don't really sense the leprechaun.
It doesn't matter what
No,
I really
but you see,
but
you can say it with your lips,
Yeah.
but you don't really mean it. You're being insincere, if I may put it that way. I'm not saying you're being a bad person. I'm just saying you're not actually being serious here. You're saying
I'm trying to make a point.
You're pretending. Yeah, but no sane person would say there's a leprechaun standing there. That's my point. An insane person may, or someone who's not being sincere may, just for the fun of it, I'm going to say there's a leprechaun there. But no sane person would say that mythological creature exists.
And if I hypothetically really believe that it's over there, is it really over there?
Well, you wouldn't be sane because you wouldn't be. You'd probably be. You have psychological issues.
That's an if.
Well, because it's not in accord with objective reality. That's what insanity is, when you believe things that aren't actually true about the world around you.
Yeah.
So if I believe I'm Napoleon, for example, I really believe I'm Napoleon, and you may confirm my belief because you're being friendly. Am I Napoleon? No. Why? Because Napoleon was a guy who lived 200 years ago in France, whatever. These are empirical tests we can provide. So there is a way of verifying truth claims in that sense.
Can you prove that it's not over there? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, because
How?
because we're using we just had this discussion, literally, we just had it. So because our sense perceptions, which I assume are reliable normally, we can see it's not there. And if you're going to say it's invisible, then I can't say it. But you're not being sincere when you say that. You're just saying it for the sake of saying it.
I'm talking theoretically.
Yeah, but no one believed that who was sane, because it's a mythological creature. Any more than, I mean, is it possible I'm Napoleon? Is it possible? Not really.
Does it make sense?
Well, I believe I'm Napoleon, so why not? I mean, my truth is my truth, your truth is... No, I don't believe any of that, of course, because there are verifiable facts, empirical. The scientific method uses the inductive method of observation, experimentation, and verification.
And mathematics as well.
And what?
Maths.
Yes. So I think that's a really obscure discipline I've never heard of there, but you mentioned maths. So I'm saying that normally human beings accept certain fundamental foundational knowledge about life, the universe and everything and don't question it. It's possible to question it, I guess, but people don't normally do that because it's not common sense. So questioning the existence of God is actually not natural. Is actually
questioning of God is not natural.
Denying the existence of God or not believing he exists is not really normal for human beings. The default position for our species, for children, for example, is belief. There's been shown. There's a study at Oxford University.
Belief in God.
Yes. There's a study. There was a study done several years ago. It was cited in New Scientist and elsewhere, and they investigated whether they wanted to determine if children's belief in God was instilled by their parents and by socialization, or it was something inherent, something they just spontaneously had. So they investigated, families in Japan and South America and Finland and so on, and they came to the conclusion, exhaustive studies, that belief in God is actually natural to our species. The children spontaneously believe in a higher power, and it's not their parents, but independent of their parents. So that's what I mean by natural, just as they naturally believe that the external world exists.
But is it because they don't have the answers to the question?
What's the question?
Anything. Kids don't know they are in this world and they don't know anything.
Do kids know their parents exist?
Yeah.
There you are. It's natural. They can see that they have a natural belief in the external world. Do children know about cause and effect?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is very interesting that
when they don't know
are they taught the realities of cause and effect in the external world? It's not obvious that we should, as human beings, understand that causes have effects. And apparently that is also hardwired into us. There are various sort of tests that have been done. Children spontaneously know that something is caused by a cause, and they don't believe in magic or nothing. They believe cause and effect is something that we instinctively believe in.
What's something fascinating about that, in particular, those experiments are they found that they often believe in teleological causes. For them, a teleological
I missed that. They believe what? I missed that.
In teleological causes.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's natural to them. And actually, the methodological naturalism that we indoctrinate with them in schools sort of beats that out of them and says, no, it's only cause.
Exactly. So I agree with that. So that later belief, denying teleology, this is the sense of things have ends or purposes. Like, is there purpose to the universe? Is there design in the universe? This is all kind of beaten out of you by education. But it's what we instinctively believe, that there is purpose and meaning and design in the universe. So I think that's the natural disposition of human beings. So if you, I'm not talking about you, but many atheists become atheists, I think, because they've had some kind of trauma, maybe they've had a bereavement, they've lost a job, a disappointment, and the greatest way of
angry with God.
Or just angry. The greatest way you're angry with God is to deny his existence. It's like someone you really, really get angry with. It's not just hating them, but you say, you no longer exist for me. It's the ultimate fingers up, yeah? And I think a lot of atheism, for many individuals, is actually based on that. So it's not really atheism, it's anger at God. At a deep level, they still believe. Intellectually, they may have convinced themselves by reading Richard Dawkins, but that's just an after-the-fact rationalization. It's not really their emotional state. They do believe deep down. Just very angry with God.
It was interesting for me that it was slightly different. I used to be atheist, I became Muslim, alhamdulillah. For me, there's this baked-in belief where you end up becoming made one of your own gods, but it's called atheism because the Enlightenment period redefined what a deity is. Right, so Adam Smith's invisible hand of the market, you resurrect an ancient Greek and you'll be like, yeah, that's a deity. But they say, oh no, we're atheists, but we believe in the invisible hand of the market. And Fortuna used to be the empress of randomness, of chance. But if you depersonalize, it doesn't de-deify. Anything which is still supposed to be an independent grounding is still a deity. So one of the things I realized is that my rejection, or my fierce rejection of monotheism was actually because if monotheism is true, then I could no longer have the deep ego identity driven thing where I was effectively an independent God. I just didn't recognize it as such. That's a really important angle. I think a lot of atheists I meet are sort of in that trap rather than the anger of God trap. Or it's both.
Yeah, I'm not saying all atheists are far from it. I'm saying a lot of atheists are atheists because of anger at God.
Yeah, without knowing it though. Often
they're deeply suppressed. It may be a childhood trauma. They say, that's it, I'm not following God.
Or the concept of God?
Well, what's the difference?
Because then when you're angry at something, you believe in it.
Yes, I think they do believe deep down, but they're just angry. And so they suppress belief in God as a way of getting rid of God in their lives. But it's not a sincere, it's not an authentic atheism. It's a trauma. So atheism is
everybody believes in God.
Sorry?
Why do you believe that everybody believes in
Because
God?
Fundamentally, deep down, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our as I've said repeatedly, it's our natural condition to believe in God, and that's instilled in us by God. You know, we're made by God, and so we're made to follow Him and worship Him and submit to Him. So, not surprisingly, we believe in Him. So, atheism is problematic. It's not normal, and has to be understood. So, there are different explanations. This brother's explanation is one, and mine is another. Maybe other explanations.
Often what I think happens is this fundamental unified notion of God gets broken down into different components in order to minimize it, in order to wash it away, make it part of the background that can be ignored. That's the way I feel a lot of it works. One way or another.
So what do you think?
I disagree with the fundamentals.
Do you worship?
Do I worship what?
Well, so here's let me put this to you.
Yeah.
Every living thing has a point of birth, a point of death, and a continuously connected path between birth and death. Agree? Okay. Now, if one were to dedicate one's whole life to something, anything, would you agree that sacrificing your whole life for something is an act of worship?
Can you say that again?
Would you agree that sacrificing one's whole life for something is an act of worship? Right. But as a limited being, you are always making opportunity cost.
It's a worship but of different kind.
Well, is it so different? Because remember what I said.
I think that if your objective is to change, I don't know, the culinary world, it's different from God.
But so what I'm presenting is essentially that one way or another you can't avoid. So if the whole thing is worship, like sacrificing your whole life is obviously worship for one thing. If it's in pieces, it's still worship in pieces. So what I'm saying is that known to us or not, according to the Abrahamic definition of worship, which is shared by a lot of other belief systems, we cannot avoid being in a state of worship. So it's not a question if we worship, it's always a question of what we worship. The Islamic perspective is that if we do our best to aim that worship for the pleasure of Allah, we can stay aligned with goodness, we can stay aligned in this one sort of holistic position, and that is what's best for us.
But I think that.
But so when people say, sorry, just to finish the point, when people say or feel that they're not worshipping or they don't worship, I feel they're misguided and don't recognise that there is worship going on, and I think that's not to be impolite, a form of dysfunction, a form of delamination from reality. And I think it's better for everyone to say, yes, I worship, let's figure out what exactly it is, am I happy with that?
I think there's a big difference between worshipping, for example, you work as a cashier in a supermarket, you do this all of your life, you'd say it's worship, right?
Well, but what are they worshipping? Because often it's a worship of money, or it's a worship of something that gives them belonging, identity. But yeah, I don't know for the individual cashier what their drive will be.
Okay, so the drive is money.
Okay, in that case.
So they worship money, that's what you say. Can you say...
If that is what drives them, if that's what they're doing it for, to no other end, then yeah, it's a worship for the purpose of money.
Mansour the same thing about God?
I have.
About what?
What's going on with Mansour? Is it the same kind of worship?
About God?
Yeah.
But you're good friends
I
with
wouldn't
him.
say
What's
it's
going
completely
on?
different.
I don't get it.
I would say
AI.
there are
It's a
differences.
fake.
It looks real.
But
Yeah, it's AI though. Yeah, I'm
Roman
taking
Catholic.
the original definition of worship,
He is
it
not.
is worship, just what we
Okay.
call misdirected. We think that if behind your intention should always be for the pleasure of the God, Allah, and if that's not the case, then it's misdirected worship, but it's still worship of something.
Anyway, I'm going to move on. Pleasure talking to you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your discussion.
No. It's a good discussion. I haven't got much more to say, but it's just I'm going to move on.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I'll just say salam to you. Salam from
Walaikum assalam.
I watch your videos for the last 2 years. And
Alhamdulillah.
I just randomly just came here. I was watching you the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's very interesting, very articulate, representing really well. So
You're very kind.
we do
Thank you very much.
appreciate you,
Thank you very much.
even though you probably do get a lot of people saying all sorts. But I think the audience from in the background would like me.
Yeah, you're very kind.
No.
Where are you from?
Sunny Slough.
Yeah. So west of here, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been watching you for years, and always find yourself, and I think it's Hashim.
Hashim, yeah,
I
he's
think-
here.
Yeah, I've been like, sorry, I'm a subscriber as well. I always like go on about yourself because of like the way you present with the facts, not like your emotions and stuff. You present the facts in a quite nice way.
You're very kind, thank you very much.
No, keep up the good work. Yeah, we're keeping you know the wise, that's what I just wanted to say. Yeah, it's just coincident. I was thinking, what's this? Oh, that speaker's corner. I was just telling colleague, I was like, I watch it all the time, and I thought, let me just see. And I was hoping I'll find you, and all of a sudden you're just saying bye to these guys. So literally, you could have been there for half an hour or something with the conversation, but it just timing was like, wow.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Is he around? Is he that?
Hashim's around, yeah. I haven't seen him. Oh no, there he's over there. Actually.
Oh, is he? Yeah, he's just listening what he's talking about.
Go see you later. Nice to meet you both.
Right,
Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye. Are you doing these?
Some of them.
Yeah. Can you take them all? 'Cause,